Hello. So I find myself in this park, and one of the things I struggle with the most in filming um, myself is finding a good location to do it. Um, Finding a place outside where I feel um, comfortable enough to share my thoughts um, and talk out loud to a camera. Um, I wanted to talk about a couple things. My hands are red. I was jotting down some notes, and I used this really inky pen. It just kind of exploded. So I thought of what I wanted to talk about, and um, I decided that I wanted to kind of recreate the first video that I removed for my channel. Um, essentially, what it was comprised of was uh, talking about my own experiences, but overall introducing myself and kind of just getting to know me. Why I decided to start in the first place. I've been wanting to make videos forever, and I never got around to it because of excuses that I would make in my head, um, ranging from realistic reasons why I never wanted to hit that record button to imaginary ideas that I would make up, like I'm not ready, or I'm not qualified, I'm not good enough, and these are all selfish reasons, excuses, because of the context behind them. I'm making them up. You know, these are things that I'm coming up with because I honestly, I didn't have a reason not to start, so I would tell myself these lies. The truth is, you're never ready, and this applies to every area in life. No one starts out really good at something. You have to suck in the beginning to get to that point that you know we all strive for, but you can't do that waiting for the right moment. It has to be all on your own, because no one's gonna push you. After a certain age, you're gonna lose that push that we were instilled in childhood, either from parent figures or siblings or friends, and it's good to have that emotional support system, but after a certain point you have to start visualizing these things on your own and visualize how you're going to get to these places, without the help of others, because no one's going to do it for you. So I sat down and I decided to start that day, which was in real time about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I'm not gonna lie, honestly, I was having a bad hair day. I think if I had just said the things that I wanted to say, not having looked like a complete jump, then I would have liked it, better, I guess. But again, that comes from a deep part of me that's insecurity. So taking accountability for reasons we do things. Sometimes it comes from how we perceive ourselves and how we think others perceive us. which is bad. Essentially, it's a huge no-no, and I've tried to distance myself from that way of thinking, but I mean, anybody can tell you it's hard. It's something we all struggle with. It's something I continue to ask myself why I care so much about what others think. But furthermore, I wanted to get ahead of that. Yeah, so that I don't have the footage, but I do remember some of the things I said. The main part was why I've started this journey, if you want to call it that. This goes deeper than just making videos for fun. I am currently, excuse me, in the process of changing a lot of the old habits that I used to have, and attempting to follow a lifestyle that better suits my needs and wants, in a way that benefits me, so that I can be there for others, because I can't be there, can't be in relationships, I can't be the best version of myself, I can't be the best version of a friend if I'm not completely there for myself yet. And you can't fully understand the concept of love until you love yourself. And I don't dislike myself. I'm just on a journey of self-love, and it's taken me this long to realize that this is probably the most important phase in someone's life. A lot of people do this a lot later on in life, when they go through a heartbreak, or when they have a falling out with a friend or a family member. I didn't necessarily have that, because my relationships have always been kind of, as of recently, my relationships have been, what's the word? Non-existent, because I haven't been really putting an effort into watering those plants around me. Because it has to start from you. So instead, I've been focusing on what are things that I can do for myself to better nurture these plants around me, these relationships. Because I can't be a false alternate version of myself. It's just not a good thing to put on a mask and pretend to be someone you're not. So yeah, I kind of wanted to shed light on my situation, because these are things that I haven't been able to talk to anybody outside of my own mother. She's the best. I'm trying to implement changes into my life, into my daily routine, building new habits, and it can get isolating. It can be hard to do the opposite when the conventional approach is to follow these social norms of going to school and doing a internship and getting that job, even if you don't like it that much. It pays well, and that's enough to get out of the house. I'm taking it a bit slower, which is why I've decided to have a lot of options on the table, leave those doors open. Where I live now is so far away from home, whether it's a physical essence of a place, or a person, or a feeling, or in here, it can be either internal or external, because I moved away about 2.5 years ago, a little more, and these feelings that I felt right before I moved are starting to revive themselves in me. These problems that I thought I was running away from have come back, and they've always been there. It's just I think I've been putting them down for so long, and I've been drowning them with new experiences. I think that I was trying to run away from a problem that I had within me. Um, and that's what I've done before. That's what I've always done my whole life. And I'm trying to break that cycle of when everything goes wrong, or when I start to notice these feelings emerging of misplacement, of I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. I just drop everything and leave. And that's obviously not a good thing. What else? Comparison is also a really big deal in my eyes. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's what they say. I think that's what I say. What I've noticed a lot, especially through social media platforms, is people fear that they may not be living the most interesting or eventful life, and they feel obligated to share parts of their life where it seems like it's perfect. That's not the case. These people feed on external validation. They need to feel appreciated or admired in order to be, I guess, grateful. But you can be grateful with so much less. And you don't need to compare. There's no need to compare yourself to these online phenomenons. Who cares, man? Like you even if it is someone that you know is authentic and is actually living a really good life, it's probably because they worked really hard for it. That these are people that have worked years and they have a direction. They can speak for themselves by not having to prove anything to anybody. And I think I hold that to a high standard, because these things that don't necessarily call for attention are beautiful. These are spectacles that don't require any attention. So I admire those people, but at the same time, you shouldn't compare yourself by any means, because you can't compare your day one to someone's day 1000. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. You have to start working on yourself now, and if you don't know how to start that process, do anything and improve that. Even if you're really sucky in the beginning, that's completely normal, dude. You're supposed to be bad. If you're good at everything you try, then there would be no charm in life. Everything it would just feel dull. These ideas that we invent in our head that we're not worthy, or we'll never get to where we want to get. It's a silly way of thinking, because you don't know that. If you start to think negatively of yourself and your potential all the time, eventually you will become that person, and you probably won't achieve your goals. It's all based on attitude, right? So I think that the best course of action for those of you who don't know how to start is to just do it. And yeah, I mean, no one's ready, but you can't let the days go by longing for the past when you're currently living it sounds crazy, but you're living your past, your future, and your present all at the same time. So the best way to combine all those things is to stick with the middle part. Be in the present, live in the moment. And this is life. I mean, this is real. This is as real as it gets. You have to start working for yourself. You have to do the work, put in hours, put in days, do anything by all means necessary. If this means setting a small goal and sticking with that, well, that's fine, but do it and stick with it, because you're becoming disciplined in doing something. Whatever skill you're improving, or whatever craft you're learning, just anything, you have to stay disciplined, because that discipline turns into consistency, and that consistency will make you confidence, and that confidence will bring about change, and that change is transformation. I read this in a book. I'm still on the first chapter, but it's really good. It's called How to Do the Work. I forget the name of the author. See, for me, that's one of my goals. It's to finish 5 books by the end of the year, and we are in September. So I've started a little late, my New Year's resolution, but it's what I want to do, and it's something that I'll stick to. Even if I don't finish, I'll know that I did a few. I can at least accept that I tried my best. And if I don't, I don't. I'll finish them someday, but the key is to stick with them. Doesn't matter what that timeline looks like, how far into the future. I think it's important to set both long-term and short-term goals that you can do or practice daily, such as, creating these new habits and yeah, I mean, it sounds easier said than done. Yeah, duh, but the trick is to stay disciplined, and you'll see results sooner or later. But it's all about knowing why you started. Avoid breaking your own promises or lying to yourself, even if they're small lies that seem to not really be too important. And if you break that cycle, then it's not the end of the world. You don't have to start all over again. You're making progress even if it doesn't feel like it, even if you're falling back into old habits that negatively compromise you or make you stuck. It's about going forward from that point, and that self-awareness is already a big milestone. That self-awareness is already a big jump from where you found yourself maybe a couple months ago, maybe what made you decide to do that switch in the first place. Again, remember why you started. I think that's one of the most motivational pushes that can propel you forward when you lack that guidance. Give that guidance to yourself. Be that person that you yourself look up to. It has to start from within. You have to be willing to make sacrifices, and yeah, it'll be hard and lonely in the beginning. It seems like you're doing everything the opposite way. I mean, that's what commitment is, right? Giving up things now, things that are familiar, for that progress that we're all searching for. You'll get there. Kind of just use me as a reference, if you will. I'm growing right beside you. This is a coexistent thing. I'm not really depending on anybody but myself to do things the right way by my standards. But obviously everything helps. I mean, I wish I had listened to my own advice when I was younger. So this is, in a way, me talking to a younger version of me. and saying all the things that I needed to hear, when I was in high school, or even last year, when I was really going through it. I had nobody to turn to, and I couldn't express all these ideas of how to transform my life and how to improve my lifestyle, because I hadn't really developed any deep relationships. But again, that starts from you. Once you come to terms with who you are and fully understand what self-love is, then you're ready for the next step, for change. No one is a better mentor but yourself. So try and mess up and try again and fail and pick yourself back up and do it again, and you'll see that it'll all be worth it in the end. This speaks about why you clicked on this video, because now I know what the title is going to be. I have an idea. It's changed a lot in my head, but now that I'm aware of how it's finished, I wanna actually be there for you. I wanna go through this thing we call life. We're strangers, but not really. I mean, you clicked on this video for a reason, so I think that you were meant to be here. I think that this is good, and this is a good place to end it. So with all that being said, thanks for listening, and take care of yourself. All right, bye.